everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Premiere Next. In this video, you are going to get all information related to the movie called Consecration. The psychological horror movie Consecration centers on Gina Malone's quest to learn the truth behind her brother's passing. The latest horror film from writer and director Christopher Smith, Consecration, is unquestionably a must-see for any horror enthusiast. The film, which will debut next month, centers on potential foul play after a priest turns up dead in a secluded Scottish convent. The priest's sister disagrees with the nuns, who unanimously assume he committed suicide. The nuns agree that the priest committed himself by jumping from the neighboring cliffs after falling into darkness, but his sister believes that something far more horrible had place at the distant monastery. She rapidly discovers something that is far more unpleasant than she could have imagined when she arrives to investigate on her own. Consecration, which is chock full of ominous nuns and terrible religious iconography, has a tremendously unsettling tone and is almost certainly going to be worth seeing. There should be lots of well-timed jump scares as well as legitimately distressing and violent sequences, if the trailer is any clue. There is no doubt that more is going on than the nuns are letting on, especially with sisters who seem to be engaging in occult or supernatural practices that are outside the bounds of contemporary Catholicism. Here is all the information we have regarding Consecration. Consecration, the plot. Consecration, a psychological horror film, is certain to deliver a variety of uncomfortable horrors that gradually intensify throughout the course of the film. Grace visits a distant convent in Scotland where her brother was a priest after discovering that he apparently committed suicide. Grace begins to doubt the official account of her brother's passing after finding out more about the circumstances of his death and seeing at his body after the autopsy. She is almost certain that someone may have beaten her brother before pushing him over the edge and off the cliffs near the convent after observing the injuries he clearly sustained before falling. This would amount to nothing less than murder, she believes. Father Romero, a Vatican priest, instantly steps in to help her find out what might have actually happened. It's only natural that inexplicable deaths and other occurrences would occur at a convent with cliffs and wind-battered beaches nearby. Grace believes the nuns had a bigger hand in her brother's death and other dark events at the convent, despite what the nuns would have her believe. She rapidly unearths murder and sacrilege after arriving at the monastery, as well as a disturbing revelation about her own background that is guaranteed to stir up some emotions for the self-described atheist. As the plot develops, it becomes apparent that more is going on than what the spectator is supposed to know. Consecration, the cast. Consecration, which is directed by Christopher Smith and co-wrote with producer Laurie Cook, stars a number of well-known actors. Gina Malone, who the public will recognize from movies like The Hunger Games, Catching Fire and Antebellum, is in charge of directing the picture. Malone plays Grace, an agnostic who is trying to learn the truth about her brother's purported suicide while being surrounded by what she perceives as religious zealots who are concealing something horrible. Michael, Grace's now deceased brother, is portrayed by Stefan Sinide. As the plot of the film develops, his backstory will undoubtedly become more apparent. Father Romero, a priest from the Vatican who helps Grace with her own inquiry into the most recent death at the convent, is portrayed by Danny Huston. Huston is a well-known actor who has been in films including Wonder Woman, the upcoming Marlowe, and HBO's Succession. He claims that in his capacity as a Vatican priest, he is responsible for ensuring the incident's transparency, albeit it is questionable whether he can be trusted. Romero's status at the Vatican, while appearing to be on Grace's side, may actually work against her. The Mother Superior, who is portrayed by Janet Sussman, is in charge of the convent and appears to be concealing aspects of Catholic life at the abbey that could be darker and potentially supernatural. Her complete dominance of the isolated Scottish abbey in the middle of a horror movie practically screams religious fanatic. Eyelid Fisher as Meg, Gelato Bassola as Matilda, and Alexandra Lewis as Beth make up the rest of the group of the spooky nuns. Angela White, Emma Hickson, and Rachel Joanne Brown are the nuns without names. Ian Peary, who most recently appeared in The Last Duel, plays Vincent, and Thorne Ferguson, who most recently appeared in the Starz series The Spanish Princess, plays DCI Harris, round out the rest of the cast. Release date updates beginning on February 10th, Shudder Consecration will be screened in a few cinemas. The movie will then be made available on demand on March 3rd of the following month. If you are watching this video on Facebook, please like and subscribe to our Facebook page, and if you are watching this video on YouTube, please click on the like button and do subscribe for the latest update.